right in. Now I'm just making the point of showing you all the material we're going to be using for this project. In this project, and at the end of it, you will be able to make this, and not just making this, you will be able to apply the idea you're going to get in this to any other similar design that has a bit of all these features in it. What I want you to take note is that I want to take note of the machines, take note of the materials, take note of all the tools we're using in it, because that are all going to help you to get this project out. So come with me right now to see how I'll be doing justice to this right here in my studio, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to this lesson. In this new lesson, I'm going to be showing you all the material we're going to be using for this project. In this project, we're making the pointers come back in here. We're going to be making in this project, and at the end of it, you're going to be having a full understanding of all the material you're going to be using to make this kind of project out. You want to make something very similar and close to what you see as a reference picture, what was introduced to you here. Then take note of all the details in this material I'm going to be giving out in this material. So to start with, I'm going to be showing you all the leathers we're going to be using. We have a 2 pattern leather in there. I'm going to be showing you all the leathers, all the heel, and then we then proceed to making it all together. So to start with, to come over, here is the leather I'm going to be using for this project. Here is the leather. I like this leather. This leather is very wonderful. This was the leather that was used for the project that you were introduced to. It's okay. At this point, I want to show you the thickness of it, and then this leather. One thing about this leather is very, very light. Whenever you're working with a female project, it has to be very, very soft. So it's very, very soft, and then for the thickness, I come over with my digital. I so much like to use my digital caliper. The reason is that if I have to use an analog gauge will not give me the exact measurement, but using a digital gauge will give you the exact measurement of what you want. So at the time I come over here, and I right now at 0, and I come over to read this. This is 0.5, 0.6 mm, 0.5, 0.6 mm. That is the thickness of the material. 0.5, 0.6 mm. That is the thickness of the material, and this is the material that was used for the upper layer of the project we're about working on right now. This is it, the front part of it. You can see, and then at the end, towards the edge of the heel, this was also. So this is what we're going to be using for the projects. This is what we're going to be using for the project. At the time we get this out, this is it, and oftentimes this is a complete sheet of a small leather. I just got it that like this. It's not compulsory I get to use all this. We can't even use all this. Just going to use bits out of it, but me, I like to get my leather and sheet, so whenever I have such project again, I can get to use it. And I don't really like buying just little pieces. The reason is that if I buy a small piece of it and eventually that material is not enough for the project, then I might have just shot myself at the leg. So it's always good for you to always buy your leather and possibly in a large quantity, a sheet, yes, a sheet. So you should be so sure that this is going to be enough for your project. So this is the leather I'm going to be using for the upper. This is the leather I'm going to be using for the upper. Yeah, is the material we're going to be using for the inner layer. Here is the leather. Here's another very light material leather that we're going to be using to line it all together. We're going to be using to line the inner of this project to break up the. This is 0.4 mm, 0.4 mm. This is 0.4 mm, and then getting 0.5 mm. This is also very, very soft material, not dry. It is very, very soft. So this is it. I also get this too in a big form, and I've used part of it in the workshop. This is some leftover that we're just gonna use for this project. So it's not compulsory. You have to get a new project if you have a material you've used in the workshop that is gonna suit for this project. Why not? You can just pump it up and just get to use this. But for this, we're not even gonna use all this. Just gonna use a small portion of this to get this project done. So at an average of by 2 feet is all just enough for this project. I mean 24 centimeter by 24 centimeter. It's done for all these projects. You should, because you're working on synthetic and it's not being sold in shade like this, then 24 by 24 inches square foot is enough for this project. So right now I have this is the material I'm using. Here is a black leather material, and then here is a golden leather, a golden with the tux, with the pattern black leather on it, so there is a wonderful leather we're going to be using for this project. So right now we have these 3 are the leather we're going to be using for this project. These 3 are the leather we're going to be using for this project, and at the end right now we have these 3. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, showing you right now, is to then go forth and move to the accessories. Right now there is the buckle that we're going to be using to match up this. It's the golden buckle, and then one thing, the reason this buckle has a width of this buckle is in 0.5 inches. 0.5 inches. This buckle is in 0.5 inches. So this is in 0.5 inches. Right now this is 0.5 inches. 0.5 inches. This is 0.5 inches in material. In buckle space, the strap that's going to go in is 0.5 inches. So we take note of that whenever we're cutting and designing making our sketches. So since we're going to be using this, then you have to consider that when you are drawing your patterns out. So this is 0.5 inches, and there is the buckle we're going to be using for this project. Another material that we're going to be using for the up is another material we're going to be using. Here is an elastic. Here, this elastic is very, very important towards the buckle edge in here. Is very, very important. It makes it a bit comfortable to wear, and then it makes it flexible. Also, it doesn't just goes very, very tight when you get to wear it. So this, we're going to be using it around the buckle stripe. So remember, we're still making a pointed slim back, with a block heel. That's what we're making. And this too is this is an half. This is 18 centimeter. This is 18 centimeter, but we don't really need up to 18 centimeter of elastic. This is a fashionable elastic. You don't need up to 18 centimeter. At an average of 10 inches is enough, because we're going to just cut it into 2 and then insert it in the buckle space. That's what we're going to be using this. So this is an elastic right now. So here is the leather. Here is the elastic. Here is the buckle. Here is the inner layer that we're going to use for this project. Definitely we are done with getting all our material out. At the time we're done with getting all our material arranged all together, then we then proceed to getting the sew on. So right now here is the material we're going to be using for the sew. Here is we're going to be starting with the sew. Here is the rubber. This is of 3 mm. This is 3 mm rubber. This 3 mm rubber, it shows in here a 3 mm rubber. This is rubber that's going to go on the last layer that goes directly, that has always a counter to the ground. So see, this is the rubber, is of 3 mm in thickness. So this is what we're going to be using, and the square foot is enough for this project. The square foot is very, very enough for this. So this is just an upgrade that we just left over in the workshop. So a square foot is enough for this project. So this is the rubber, and then in here is a block heel. This is a heel that we're also going to be using for this project. This block heel is being ordered, and then is a pre-model that has been modeled this way. I don't do anything to it. I just got to order this like this. I ordered it this way, and this is what we're going to be using. We're going to see how we're going to be putting all this to use right now. This is what we're going to brace it up, and you can see it under the reference picture, the picture that was introduced to you. This was the project this was the heel we used in there. So this is what we're going to be using, and it's not compulsory to get this block heel. If you want it a pencil one, if you want it, then you can also get that too. The same idea we're going to use in fixing this, you can also use to arrange that too. It's not compulsory you have it in this shape, but what is very, very important is that whenever you are ordering, the code that is on the heel must be the same code that is on the other one. So definitely it has to pierce. It has to pierce in terms of width, it has to pierce in terms of height, and it has to pierce in terms of balancing. When it pierces like that, then the balancing and the healthiness of putting on this is guaranteed. So right now we have this. This is what we're going to be using right now. This is the heel, and then coming up this way I have I'm going to be using this. Here is a big material. As I said, I used to buy them in big sheets, so I have it here in the workshop, in my studio in here in a big form. This is a Marco, a puffy material. This is going to be in between the foot part of our project. This is what's going to be in there. Is a bit puffy, and then it's of it is of 2 mm. Yes, 2 mm in thickness, 2 mm in thickness. It is 2 mm in thickness, 2 mm in thickness. The thickness is of 2 mm. It's 2 mm, so we have it in 2 mm. A square foot is also is enough for this project. Just a small portion of this, which I'm just going to come out and then cut out right now. A small portion of this. Square foot, okay, is enough. So I'm just going to cut it out right now. It's enough for this project. So whenever I come in here, this is way enough for our project. This is very enough for the project. So I can come over and step this remaining part of this. I can come over and just come over and step it down right now. Come over and step it down right now. So I step that down, and then so this, we have this right now that we're going to be using. A square foot of that is also enough. Another matter I'm going to be showing you right now is a board. Yes, I meant to show you the board I'm going to be using for this project. Here is a paper board. It's a paper board. Yes, we're going to be using it. It's a very thick board, and then the reason this also reads 2 mm. 2 mm in thickness, 2 mm in thickness. Take note of all these measurements. 2 mm in thickness. This reads 2 mm in thickness. And the major reason I had to use this is that when water gets into this, it doesn't really deactivate it too much. When water gets to it, it resists water a bit to be compared to the regular paper. Paper. This is more, I don't know how this was produced, but at some point it resists water to some point. Not or completely resist water. It resists water to some point. It resists water, so that is why I like to use this, and then it's a bit strong and solid. It can help us form our shapes very well. That's why we're using this. So I will be using this, and at the total round of a 2 square foot of this is very, very enough for this project. 2 square foot is enough for this project. I don't need to call it out, but 2 square foot is enough. Remember, I'm going to mark it out right now, so whenever we're marking, you'll be so sure that 2 square foot is going to be enough for this project. It's way going to be enough for this project. 2 square foot is going to be enough. So we are on this point. This is the portion we're going to be using. So I have this, I have the rubber, and right now that is the material for the heel. I'm going to show you another awesome material right now, which is the shoe shank. The shoe shank is that iron that is going to be in between the cardboard and the rubber and the upper material. Why? This is going to help in shaping our sole. We're going to draft it to shape very well. You're going to help us to get awesome shape out Yes, that's what this shank is going to help us. And because a lot of weight is going to be lying on this point, a lot of weight is going to be lying on this iron shank is going to help us to withhold that shape and help us standing up, right? So that is what is going to shape our shoe shank is all about. And then whenever you want to order for your shoe shank, you take note of the balancing of it. All shoe shank is being produced and formed in different heights and different shapes and different lengths. Yes, this shoe shank right now I've designed and I've checked it out to work for size 9. I've checked it out to work for size 9. Yes, I've checked it out to work for size 9. And then what you should take note is that it must be lapping directly to the last. As you can see, please here, make sure that it's lapping directly to the last, it's forming directly to the last this way. It must not come way far away from what we need. You can see this is another shoe shank, but this is not coming. If it's gonna, it laps this way, but it is not meant to come out this way. But if you want to arrange it the way it's meant to be arranged, then it's going to be like that. And this is not a suitable shoe shank for this project. The best suitable shank for this project is something like this. You can see this does not exceed this, and this is lapping. So this shoe shank is going to work for this project very well. So that's why we are not going to be using this. We're going to be using just this. So if you accessing the market, just go in there, and it's always important you take note of you're available with your last, or you take note of the height of the project you're about working on. You take note of how high you want it to be, or how low you want it to come. So that is going to determine the choice of your shoe shank. The shoe shank, make sure it's when you lap it to the heel, and eventually it has the base of this, right? This is it. I want to show you how we can get everything arranged together, but it's many times it's not compulsory to get to arrange everything together, because they are always pre-molded. They are pre-molded heels. In this way, they are pre-molded heels, which has been you can get to order like this. These are pre-molded heels. I also order pre-molded heels. Sometimes here is a pre-molded, but for the benefit of this class, I'm just going to show you. Here is a pre-molded heel. For the benefit of this class, I'm going to be showing you how to arrange the heel from the scratch. How to arrange it from scratch is what I'm going to be showing right now. So we have the heel, we have the shank, we have the heel, we have the puffing material, we have the cardboard, we have the rubber, and that is all what we just need for this. That's all what we need for the sew to come in place right now. To put all the sew in place, that's what we just we then need. Put it aside. Remember, I'm not cutting this yet. I'm going to be cutting it on it when the time comes. So we have this for the sew right now. And so right now, another material I'm going to be showing you that we're going to be using for this project right now is a cementing glue. I'm going to be using a chloroprene gum to bond everything together. So using this is what chloroprene gum is what I'm going to be using for this project. I'm going to use this to bond everything all around together. So I'm going to be using a chloroprene gum for this project. Just check the description of the gum you want to order, and you will actually find a chloroprene as one of the agents that was used to formulate this. As at that point, it is good to go for this project. The reason we're going to be using that is that coming over here, we'll be using leather also, and chloroprene gum matches and cement leather very well than other gum. So chloroprene gum is one of the gums we're going to be using for this project. So you've seen all the leather and the material for the sole I'm going to be using for this project. The next thing I'm going to be showing you right now is all the tools we're going to be using for this project. It's very important you also take note of all the tools we're going to be using. The reason is that so you not have a wonderful material and eventually have the wrong choice of tools, and at the end of the day it's not going to be colliding and matching up to what we really want to get. You want to have a copy or an exact replicant of the project that was introduced to you. Take note of all those details, and then at the end you surely have a complete replicant of the project that was introduced to you earlier on. So right now we've got this out. So the next thing I'm going to be showing you right now is the last. Here is the number one tools we're going to be using for this project. Without the last, we might not be able to get that pointed thing we want out. As you can see, the project that was introduced was formed in the shape of this last. So this is going to determine the shape of the project we want to work on. It's going to determine the shape, and it's also going to determine the heels we're going to be using. Yes, at this point you have to check and order for an heel, and each last has a particular height that is being molded to work with. In here, the height of this is, the height of this is 2 inches. So I'm going to be working on 2 inches heel, and this last has also been designed to work with 2 inches heel. Why? Because at the time I input this is very balanced on it. If it's meant to be, if I have an higher heel in it, it's not going to be balanced again, but in here is balanced, so definitely it goes perfectly for heel of 2 inches. So I'm going to be using this for 2 inches heel right now. I'm going to be using this right now for this, and then this, as I said, determines the kind of heel you get, and your last also determines how high it will come and how balanced it's going to be. So if you have an heel of 3 inch, then always alters for a last that's going to also be able to cater for that heel of 3 inch. So I've picked the last, and the shape of the last also must go with the shape at which you want to arrive, because the last is going to determine the actual shape of the project. So I have this last right now. This is the last that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to be using size 9 for this project. So I have this 9, size 9 last right in here. That's number 1 tools I'm going to use, and other tools I'm going to use is my clicker knife, the basic crafting tools, my lasting plier. I'm going to be using my lasting plier. I will be using my hammer to mount pressure. I will be using the scissors, and those are the basic hand tools we're going to be using for this project. We're going to be using my brush to apply my cementing glue on it. I'm going to be using, done with this, I'm done showing you all the little tools, and any other tools you might want to use, we'll still get to introduce it to you as the project proceeds. As we proceed in the project, if we're going to use any tools, I'm going to tell you the reason why we are getting to use that tool. Hello friend, thank you so much for watching this time. I'm Sunday Oyewale, and thank you so much for being here with me today. This is the first live streaming we're going to be doing in the year 2020. So it's the first one we're going to be doing, and this year is going to be an awesome year in the crafting calendar. It's going to be very wonderful because we are going to be unfolding lots of tips of shoemaking on this platform. Yes, we have a package that we're going to be running all through the year 2020. All through the year 2020, we're going to be running a seasonal or live streaming section, which is going to come up by every week, or every day of the week. It's going to be coming up in here. So we're going to be, I will be inside in my studio in here every Saturday of every week. I will be doing a live stream. So if you want to join me, you want to have wonderful questions, you have questions that you like to ask, you have a question that you like to, you've been looking at how you're going to go about it, then this is a platform that we have just opened just for you. Yes, just for you to be able to ask that wonderful question, to be able to share that, difficulties you've been having with that project. Yes, we've been able to watch series of videos of ours on this platform. We've been able to watch it. So right in here, after watching it, you have challenges, but you don't have the way of sharing your challenges, and we used to have tons of message on our YouTube platform, so we can't even reply to all of them. Are you one of those that was unfortunate we've not been able to reply? Then this is an opportunity for you to be here with us live. Yes, you can be here with us. Just connect to us in here every Saturday. Make it a date. GMT 2001 2100 is when we're going to be coming live every Saturday. Every Saturday back home in Nigeria is going to be 2101 9 p.m. in Nigeria time, or in the UK is going to be 9 p.m. in the UK. At the same time, if in the States, it's going to be 1, depending on the part of the world you're going to be watching. So we're going to be live streaming from 2100 GMT zone. We're going to be live streaming back home here, Lagos, Nigeria. So I'm Sunday Oyewale, and in here we're going to be treating different things, different topics. We're going to be welcoming all your different topics in this platform this year 2020. It's a new one, and we're going to be coming to you new every day. So this can only be possible if you yourself is ready to take that crafting day, that your career, to that level at which you want it to be. So you want to take your crafter to another level, then we are here for you. We are here to help you take this crafting career of yours to another level that you desire it to be. I will not just going to be here alone every week. My platform is open for guests. We're going to be bringing guests all in here to also treat those questions you're going to be throwing to us. We're going to be treating that right in the studio. Presently we'll be shooting in my private studio before we finish the renovation we are doing in our main workshop. We're doing the renovation in the main workshop. That's why I'm still using this. And when we're done with the renovation at the main workshop, then we'll move into the main workshop and have a live stream, a live workshop experience. It's wonderful, and it's been an honor for me to have instruct through all these years on this platform. So I'm coming out this time to have a live stream section with you once a week. It is possible. We've started it, so you can make it richer with all your questions. You can make it richer with all your demand of topics we need to treat. Yes, the topics we need to treat is what we can make this richer for you, not just for you, for other audience. So right in here, I'm going to be leaving you with a making. I have a video of this making. I have the video of this making. This is a slim back pointed shoe. I have it on the platform. It's on the platform and already, but I want to show you a full lesson of it. So as I show you this, you can, if you have any issue, you need to ask me. Then we are in here, throw it, and let me have the time to let me answer that for you. I'm here to answer that. So let me go back to right now. We've been so far you've been watching how we've been able to all the design that we're going to be using for the project. You've watched that. So the next thing we're going to be doing right now is to then go straight to making it happen. So in making it happen, the most important thing that is very crucial in here is how to arrange the heel. So I'm going to be showing you that this night. I'm going to be showing you how to arrange the heel this night. So that's what I will be showing you right now. So that's what I'm going to be showing you. So sit back and see how we're going to be arranging it right now. Welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I will be showing you how we're going to be formulating our sew, how to be getting our sew in order. That's what I'm going to be showing you in this lesson. So come with me to see how we'll be doing that. To start with, coming up in here, this is what we need. This and this is what all we need to get our sews together. So to come here, we need to start with, we need to get the pattern for this base. To get pattern for this base, so to get that, I have to come in here. I have to come here. You can come in this way. Pick. You can max it. It's a two-way thing. You can either max the base, or I just come in here to draw. So I'm just going to come in here and draw to get the exact measurement of the base of my last. Remember, this is what we marked earlier, so we don't need that anymore. We can come over here, see, marking. I'm trying to get the shape of the base to get the material marked out. We marked it out and it's gonna be fabricated. Yes, it's gonna be fabricated, and we're gonna be seeing how that's gonna be fabricated right in here. See right, I can see it right now from the. It doesn't commonly come around with like this. Most of the time it comes with. So right now, to be compared to this, you can see this. This is balanced, and check this. This has a tip a bit round it. There are different shapes and patterns of eel. So I will be working around this, and in case you're working around this, what you just got to do is just drop it on it. You can see it's going to work perfectly on this. And if you have something like this too that you want to work on, what you just get to do is to then come over. Since we want to work in between here, we have to come over and trim a bit away from this edge. You're going to come over to trim this edge of a bit, this edge from the point it's going here. You need to trim it off here. You trim it off. You trim it off in a way that so this can go in. Yes, this is going in right now. You trim it off in a way that this will be able to go in, and right now it's in. Can I have it in? It's in here. Okay. Like this, it's in. So we have this right now. We've been able to create a space for it to go in, not to stay on it, but to go in. But if you're working on this, it has to stay on. It has to rhyme around this edge. It has to rhyme on it. But in here, it has to go in. So I'm working on this right now. So since I have this set this way, the next thing I then need to do is to go use this to cut my board out. We'll be using this to cut my board out. So I step this down. Yeah, I come over with this right now. I need to cut this out. I'm working on a pair, but I need to cut this out. Two complete pair. I'll cut this out. Then come again to cut this out. Working with a complete pair of projects, still need to cut this out again. All these I'm going to use for just a pair of a project. Okay, at the time I have this, I then start to cut out. Okay, step this down and then start cutting this out. As I said earlier, there's a preformed version of this. Yes, so coming here, you can go in. So right in here, you've been able to see how we're cutting that out. What we're cutting that out in there is I'm going to cut that out and then start putting it all together. We're going to put it all together in there. We're going to be putting all what you see in there. We're going to be putting them together right now. That is it. All this comes all in piece. It is right after we cut this out, we then come over and put it all around together. Putting all around together, it's quite easy. That what you just see in there is just a bit of a cementing glue. You need a cementing glue to put all that together. And the cementing glue to put all that together. So right in here, after you've been able to cut it out, what you will be seeing right now is that you will be seeing a pattern. You will be seeing a pattern that is halfway marked. Halfway marked is what you're going to be seeing right now. And what you're going to be seeing in here is trying to cut out the front portion. We're cutting out 2/3 of the marked out pattern. Get to see this. Okay, so mark it this way just to create that space in there to indicate that. So right now I'm then gonna cut this what 2/3. This 2/3 I'm gonna mark it right now. I'm gonna mark it on the board and cut a complete pair again. The 2/3. This is the 1/3 which I've taken away. I'm gonna cut the 2/3 of this. Third of this. I cut the 2/3 of this right now. The next thing I'm going to do is to then cut it out. And cut it out with space. So I then can go later, start cutting it. It's always more easier than that, like that. So I come over here, cut this. Okay. So I've cut this out. So I have the 2/3 of it. After 1/3 has been cut out of it, so I have this right now. And what I want to do is to then come over with this. I need to embed this, this and this to this, and this to this. That is what I want to do. So how will I be able to get this fixed for it not to show, for it to have a complete balance? That's what I'm going to be doing right now. So to start with, I first come over here to drop this in here, okay, to make sure that it's balanced. At the point to balance, I bring this. Here you've seen the way it's just been, it's been cut out. 2/3 of it is being cut out. In there you've seen how it was cut out. And at the time you've cut this 2/3 out, The next thing you're going to be doing right now is to then start putting the 2/3 and the full pattern of it that was cut out, to then amend it together. At the time you put it together, then you will be getting a full balanced project. Take note of it to get a full balanced project. And at this point, what is after you get the 2/3 out, the full pattern of it twice, you duplicate it into 2. The next thing you're going to see now is to then come over to start embedding the shoe shank in it. Don't forget, this is just a live stream that I'm going to like it if you share, you ask questions in here. Have you once tried this? Have you once tried? If you've once tried it, don't forget to drop it, your experience in making things like this. And if you've not tried it, please take notes and watch this very well. Watch this so you can try. Why next time you come in here for a live stream section, that you can put in all the questions, all the issue you have in when you were trying it, the issue you have it, so you can put it all and we can both trash it out in there. So right now, let's go back to that. This time we're going to be embedding the shoe shank in it. We're going to be embedding shoe shank in it right now. So we have this right now. Then let's move the shape of the let's move like this. So right now we have this balanced up, the shank buried in it. We have this, come here again to do this. At this point, what you have in there that I called shoe shank earlier is that metal. It's an iron that is being embedded in heels, and what does is that is going to make the shape of the heel stand upright. It's going to make it stand upright. It's going to let it lose shape, knowing that there's going to be a lot of pressure on the heel. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the heel, and the curved nature of the heel, something like this. As it is, this very project I have in here, this one we've finished in the workshop in there that we'll bring in my private studio in there. So right in there, there's been a shoe shank that has been embedded in this. Shoe shank has already embedded in it. What this is going to be doing to that is that it's going to make this portion very solid. Apart from it solid, it's going to retain the shape, and apart from retaining the shape, it's going to be able to carry all the weight that it's going to be putting on it, knowing that this is going to carry all the human weight on it. So if it's not so solid, it will not be able to carry all that weight on it. So that is shoe shank. If you have an issue getting that shoe shank, and for full information about all the shoemaking tools and shoemaking tips, I have a free course on my online platform, which you can go in there to take at no cost. These are free courses that you can take in there. Just go to the online School of Shoemaking, schoolofshoemaking.com. There's an online course in there that you can take all these simple tips in there about shoemaking, parts of shoe. You're going to get full details of that in that free shoemaking course, which was put together just for you. So right now we're going to go back in there to see how we're going to be putting all the shoe shank together. The shoe shank has already been embedded in the project. Okay, right now we have this in good order. So the next thing we're going to be doing is then come over to mount a bit of pressure on it, and even without pressure it's good to go. So right now, check this, axis is covered, here is covered, here too fully covered. So we have this right now, these two right now, and then when we have to put this on it, it matches up, and then enough space to cover for everything at the back. So this is is in good order. So the next thing we're going to be doing right now is to then come over here and balance all these edges, balance this together, balance all these edges together. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. We're going to be balancing all the edges together right now. Balance it up. That's what we're going to be doing with the bench grinder.